with happiness. We're talking about the transformative power of accountability in marriage. Meanwhile, the subtopic for tonight is married but single. To our wonderful king and queen that is watching this episode tonight, when you heard the word or when you saw the title, married but single, what came to your mind? Anyways, do hit that subscribe button to be a part of this community. Thank you so much. Sir, can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you very much. I am Pastor Dr. Eni Solomon Nosa. I'm the president of Mazimon Impact Christian Global Ministry International in Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sir. We are so honored to have you here tonight, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, sir, what is accountability in marriage? When you first of all saw the topic, what came to your mind?
Yes, thank you very much. What came to my mind when I saw that topic, accountability in marriage, the idea of being responsible and the idea of mutual responsibility, and then the idea of obligation, and then owing up to your actions and your decisions were the thing that came to my mind. But I had a broader understanding that accountability is just beyond what we think it is. It's beyond just you know obligation, is beyond personal responsibility, and then it's also beyond owing up to your action. It goes beyond that.
Hmm. Sir, can you please throw more light on it?
Okay, thank you very much. When you talk about accountability in marriage, we're talking about a situation where your obligation, your decisions, your lifestyle, they are expressed. It's like kind of a mutual understanding between couples. It's a situation where you are responsible for your actions, and then you're responsible for each other. For example, you are responsible for your time usage, you are responsible for your relationship, you are responsible, for the use of your bodies, you are responsible for the way you think, you are responsible, and the responsibility has to come with both of you working in energy. That's why accountability is just beyond you being responsible. It has to do with it with this in a broader way. How do you spend your time? You'll be accountable for such also. And how do you invest your relationship into your relationship? You're also accountable for that also. And then how do you all get to understand this? You're also accountable for that also. And then what are the real damages that has occurred in your homes? You're also accountable for that also. And then you also accountable for the way you deny each other in terms of your body. You're also accountable for everything that's to do with the healthy relationship. So it goes very vast and very wide. So that's why it's important that you should get that straight. Accountability is very vast. Accountability has to do with you taking sole responsibility of the things that are happening. And believe you me, for it to be very, very, effective, it's on both sides, both for the husband and then for the wife. It is when there's a mutual connection. That's where you have success in marriage. Okay, this husband or wife defraud not your husband or defraud not your wife in terms of your body. You also accountable for that. You are accountable for the way you raise your children. You are accountable for the level of discipline you inculcate into them. Accountable for the kind of principles that you teach them. You are accountable for the lifestyle of your children. You are accountable for the places you go. There are situations where a husband or a wife can just walk out of the home without letting each other know this is where I'm going to. Once you are married, you are not single. Even though you're single, there's still some high level of accountability. So once you are married, you are accountable to each other, the place you go to, the kind of friends you even keep. You also accountable for such attitude. So, and again, the way you grow, the way you look at things, the way you relate to things, the way you spend your money, you are also accountable for, or let me use the word responsible for it also. So that's why it's very important that once you get married, the accountability, another aspect of responsibility is your communication, the way you communicate, the way the way you say things, the way your spouse responds. All those are also effective ways of communication. Because the truth is, what makes marriage successful is in communication. very broad word. Accountability is a very broad word. If every home, every couple can sit down and ask themselves, am I actually accountable to my spouse in these various aspects that we have enumerated? It will make the home a very good place. So that's why you ask yourself, am I accountable? Do I open up? Because the truth is, Adam and Eve were naked and they were not ashamed. Are you accountable in terms of transparency? What are level of transparency? How do you talk to each other? What do you relate? How do you decide to plan your relationship? That's why accountability is very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Brilliant mind. Hello. Thank you for joining tonight. Thank you everyone for joining. Please hit that like button and also share this post tonight to everyone you know needs it. Thank you so much, sir, once again. Sir, is
Thank
marriage
you.
supposed to be endured or enjoyed?
Thank you for that happiness. Marriage is not to be endured, it's to be enjoyed. Because God will not create what we endure. Marriage is God's first institution. And if you have to endure it, that means every other institution was created by God and needs to be endured. Whatever you endure has an elastic limit. Whatever you endure, there are pains and suffering. Whatever you endure, it doesn't go well at the end of the day. So marriage is not to be endured, it's to be enjoyed. That's why that element of accountability is what makes marriage to be enjoyed, not endured. And let me say this at this point. There are individuals who are in marriage today who are there because of their children. That's a wrong thing to do. I say it on here, I say it anywhere I'm privileged to talk about marriage. You don't stay in a relationship because of your children. You are going through such an abusive, emotional downcast, and all you say is that, okay, because of my children, I don't want them to suffer. No. You should be in that marriage because in the sense that all of us pray that our children will make progress. They'll make progress, they'll get married, they'll have their own homes, and then the same man that you have been enduring, or the same woman that you have been enduring, both of you will still be there. Now tell me, when the children are out of the picture, what do you do? Is it the time now you want to start packing out? No. You are not, God did not create marriage for us to enjoy it. The scripture said God created all things for us to enjoy. In First Timothy chapter 6. Everything God created, it was for us to enjoy, to enjoy. So marriage is one of those institutions. Adam and Eve, they were together, they were not ashamed. Adam he looked at his wife and said, this is the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh. That speaks of pleasure. That speaks of excitement. That speaks of love and romance. That speaks of togetherness. That speaks of unity. So if marriage was for us to endure, other people have spoken those things. There's one thing you should understand. To get God's original purpose for something, look at the first thing that happened when he first created that thing. That's one of the things. For you to get the purpose of something, you must first of all understood what happened when that thing was first created. When the marriage was first created, what happened? What were the things that happened when it was created? Adam was excited. Adam woke up and screamed, the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh, and she shall be called a woman. It was out of excitement. So marriage ought to be excitement. Marriage ought to be pleasurable. Marriage ought to be fun. Bible says God created all things for his pleasure. It is all for his pleasure. It is all for his pleasure. Do you forget that when the first home was established, God comes down in the cool of the day to rejoice, to play with them. That is in the scripture. It was when God came down after some time. That's why God, Adam, where are you? God wants to be in your home. He wants to enjoy your home. He wants to see an atmosphere of love, an atmosphere of joy in your home. He doesn't want to come to a place filled with tension because that was not his original purpose. He didn't create it for tension. He created this for pleasure. He didn't create it for suffering. He created it for enjoyment. He didn't create it for a fight. He created it for unionism. He didn't create it for disagreement. He created it for unity. Everything, because the truth is this: anywhere you see unity, God is attracted. He said, let us make man. Man, we are created in unity, and God expects us to live in unity with one another. The scripture says two is better than one. If two is better than one, that means that unity must be there. Unity is what makes life stronger. One shall put 1,000 to flight, two shall put 10,000 to flight. Marriage surpasses enduring each other. It's all about enjoyment. But let me say this before you ask the next question. That doesn't mean that there will not be a time. It will look like the spice of marriage is not there. It doesn't mean that there will not be a time. It will look like you are left alone. It doesn't mean that there will not be a time where it looks like things are hard, things are difficult, and then you feel like parting. We all go through this. I can remember when we got married. In less than 6 months when we got married, my wife woke up one day and said she was packing. She said she was leaving. And I just looked at her because everything about her life has changed. In marriage, your life changes. And it takes a lot of time to adjust to a life that have changed. And then she just woke up and said, I'm no longer interested, I'm leaving. I didn't fight. I didn't quarrel. I didn't say any other thing. I just looked at her. She took her things and then she left. But before she got to the bus stop to board a vehicle, before I knew what was going on, she came back. She came back. And when she came back, she started crying. I heard her. And then I told her, we will work this thing out together. We will work it together. The reason why I never stopped her was because I wanted her to make a decision, which I knew she will not make a negative decision. I've known her, I've loved her, I've followed her through. And then when she came back, I told her, we'll work things together. I know you are changing your lifestyle. You worked in the hospital now. You are with me in the ministry. And then so many things have changed about you. And then your families are there. You are just here with me in a strange land. Don't worry. Let's work things. And from that moment, in August, our marriage will be 27 years. For those period of time, she have never one day, said to me that she was working out. So there will be a time where such hiccup comes up. But that doesn't mean you should not work it out. No marriage works without both husband and wife working it out. Thank you. My pleasure.
Survive without accountability.
Happiness, can you speak louder, please? Yeah, I can hear you clearly now. Yeah, better now.
Without accountability.
Marriage is what? Okay, without accountability. Okay, thank you very much. Marriage cannot survive without accountability. Both of you hold each other. That accountability. It can't survive. It's like trying to live a lone ranger. It can't survive. You have to be accountable to each other. You have to be accountable. It is that responsibility of being accountable that makes marriage work. Where both of you are accountable to each other. You are accountable. It can't survive. There's no home that can survive without it. There's no home. Even in scripture, one of the things that brought the first home down was because of lack of accountability. The woman saw that the fruit was good and she ate it. And then she gave to the husband who was with her. And the man ate it. There was no question. There was no, how did you get it? There was nothing like God asked us not to eat it. He just ate it. If there was accountability, the first home couldn't have crashed. So that's why when you get married, this lonely life, this youthful life, this singleness, where you think you can just do and undo, you can walk out at any time, come back at any time, it doesn't work. Where you think everything that belongs to you now just belongs to you, it doesn't work. In marriage, there's a symbiotic relationship. It's a mutual thing. You love each other, you submit to each other. If you break the cord of accountability, you are simply breaking the bond of marriage. Both of you, okay, look at right now, I'm in my office doing this broadcast. I've left my home because my little boy will not allow me to run this thing easily. So I left. And then, don't you think my wife is aware of where I am now? I'm not just here, I'm here with my fourth son, and I'm also here with our ICT director. I'm here, I'm accountable. I'm accountable to the way I do my things. I'm accountable to the use of my body. I can't share my body with any other woman. I'm accountable. If there's somebody trying to get my attention, an opposite sex trying to get my attention, I'm accountable to let my wife know that there's something going on somewhere that she needs to help me out. I'm also accountable to the way my money is spent. There are times I tell my wife, can I have the budget, please? The budget for this month. It's not that I don't trust her. It's because I wanted to build something in us that is financially accountable. And the same thing also, I also ensure that such thing happen in the life of our children. And then when my daughter or any of my children in school, I said that write whatever you need. And then we sit down and then we extract the budget. How can it work this way? And what will happen this way in terms of accountability? No home survives without it. Do you know that there are homes that are broken today because of the husband or the wife depriving each other of intimacy? And there may be a reason. There may be a reason. And that it is the accountability that gives strength to the reason. Okay, dear, for now, look at this and look at that. Okay, dear, for now, for our finances. Do you know that there are couples who are very busy with their smartphone, busy, very busy, taking time to go on social media, while the couple or the other partner is somewhere trying to struggle out of depression? It's because of lack of accountability. Your time, you should be accountable to each other with the usage of your time. Lack of time management or lack of time accountability can break a home. It can destroy a home. That's why you need to be accountable in terms of your time management. You need to be accountable in terms of the words that comes out of your mouth. So there's no way home, no marriage can survive outside of accountability. It's not possible. It doesn't work and it will never work because it is accountability that gives strength to every marriage. There's one thing I always tell the singles. Before you get married, take your time and study what you are going into. If you are the type that nobody talks to you, this time around somebody has to talk to you and you have to listen. If you are the type that you're always the final authority, it's not true. At the moment you get married, somebody needs to tell you this is not the way it is. And if you are the type that believe in tradition, women are like nothing. It's not at this age. Women are important. Women are valuable. The women are assets to building a good home. It's a wise woman will build her home. So by the time you have that traditional mentality, and then you just feel that you are the alpha and the omega, you are the lion of the tribe of your house. Nobody has the right to ask you anything. Nobody has the right to question you. Whatever you have done, you have done. Whatever you have spoken, you have spoken. That's the wrong way to live. And that is actually out of it. It will crash your home before you're very high. Even self, let me say this before you come up again, happiness. You must also be accountable in terms of the dress you wear. You don't dress anyhow. You are a married man, you are a married woman. The husband can tell you, dear, this clothes I don't think is good enough. And then you should be responsible to say, okay, dear, what do you want? What do you want? You know, there are times I want to go out, and my wife will tell me, no, 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 you can't wear this. You can't wear this. Oga pastor, you can't wear this. I'll tell her, okay, no problem, I can't wear. Yeah, go and look for the one I will wear. And she'll bring it and then I'll wear it. I'm accountable to her. She's not a slave. She was taken by my side. She was not taken under my feet. So I'm accountable to her. So I must be responsible. When accountability is missing out of home, joy is missing, love is missing, submission is missing. And when those things that form the bond of homes are missing, I'm telling you 100%, the hope will not survive. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Sir, In this type of homes that lack accountability, what are those things that might likely affect the children there? What are the consequences of lack of accountability in children in this type of homes?
Can I hear you again, please?
What are the consequences of lack of accountability to the children in this type of marriages? In marriages where there is no
Oh,
accountability, what are the consequences in the children?
okay, thank you. We have numerous consequences of lack of accountability in home in the lives of our children. Number one, we are role models. We are role models. If you are not accountable, you are simply teaching your children not to be accountable when they get married. So, number one, you have broken the circle of unity. You have broken the circle of love in the home. You have destroyed it because the children will be impacted negatively. Negatively. And then, number two, it will affect the upbringing in terms of financial supply. Where you are not accountable financially, the children will suffer it because I've had stories of men wasting money. I've also had stories of women wasting money. Let me cite this example. I used to have a friend those days, and we met. We stayed together because of one or two issues. We stayed together. We're in the same ministry, and then anytime we go out, he has this mobile briefcase that he carries, and I was inquisitive. I was like, my friend, why you carry this briefcase anywhere we are going out? I said, my brother, this briefcase contains my money. As at that time, this banking thing, this transfer thing was not really there. So going to the bank was a bit cumbersome. So he said that it's my mobile money bank. I said, why do you carry money everywhere? He said, my wife is not accountable financially. In the sense that if she sees money, she can go take it and spend. I was like, wow, that's strange. That's strange. That's strange. This is the first time I'm hearing such thing. And again, it was really impacting negatively in the upbringing of the children, because there are times she depletes the house finances, the various things that could have made the children to be comfortable are not available. And then the daughters are also watching how their mother is spending. There was a time we went for a conference. In that conference, we contributed money and say, go cook for us. Go and cook for us. And then she we gave her the money and left. Because in the conference, the places to buy the food it was not easy to get food. So where she resided, we went back there and we asked her, what about our food? Have you cooked? She said, no, I took the money, I went to the market, and then I saw a beautiful jeans. And then when I saw the beautiful jeans, I bought the jeans with the money we asked her to go and cook with. She did not only do it to me, she also did it to, she not only do it to me, she did it to the husband, sorry. She also did it to me. I was like, wow. You use the money, and I asked her, do you have any change left? She said, yes. So I said, give me. So I took the leftover change, and I asked her, go and meet your husband, both of you sort yourself out. Could you believe that one of the greatest effects on the life of the children was that they divorced? Our inability to control finances, our inability to control her spending brought the family down. The man divorced her after a while. And you should know the psychological effect of divorce on the life of children. So that's why when you are comfortable, and again, we also have the issue of of infidelity in the part of either the husband or the wife, because of you are depriving each other. And then when such infidelity comes in, there can be an extramarital affair. And you know that once there's an extramarital affair, the finances of the home is divided. And through such extramarital affair, there can be, children from the other woman can come in, or the other way around. So along that line, the children are equally affected. They are equally affected. And another point is this: a home where there's no accountability, that's where you have quarrel, you have no peace. And when you raise children in an atmosphere of chaos, of anarchy, what are you building in them? You're building in them a life of problem, a life of sorrow, a life of difficulties, where they believed. I remember I was on set one time with a friend who happens to be a pastor, a live television program, and we were talking about domestic violence. And he said he got married with the mentality that the only way to suppress a woman was to beat her. He said it was to beat her, and then the president asked him, sorry, why do you do such? And he said it's because he grew up with an uncle who was an abuser of his wife. He grew up in a chaotic environment. So he just felt that the only way to manage a woman was to be violent. And then he became violent until he learned it from the Lord. The Lord has to deal with him in different ways. And now, as we speak now, they are 35 years in marriage. And then the issue of strife, anarchy, everything has ceased. So when you are not accountability, you introduce chaotic atmosphere in your home. And every chaotic atmosphere in your home goes into the lives of your children. They will think that's the best way to live. The guys will think that's the best way to live. The women will think the best way to live is to confront your husband, is to fight your husband, is to disagree with your husband. And then before you know it, domestic violence will ensue. So when you are living a life without accountability, the children suffers because of the chaotic environment. And again, another point I would say, maybe one or 2 points, and then you can come up. Another point is this: when you are living a life that is not accountable, that's where you use your words roughly. Because you don't care whether your partners are hot. And when you keep hearing such words coming from you, they will grow with it. They will think the best way to communicate is to communicate through violence means. They will think the best way to communicate is to communicate through instructive words. They'll think the best way to communicate is to communicate by that casting the emotion of your partners. And when they grow like that, in schools, they'll be fighting because they'll be using such words. Now tell me, are you raising humans or you are raising beasts? Under such chaotic environments, you are raising beasts. You are not raising humans because they will grow up to become wild animals. They'll grow up to become children that will be so abusive in society, abusive at home, because they have learned that from either from their father or their mother that you don't bridle your tongue. You just say it anyhow. Like what they say, just say boah. Whether the person's emotional feeling is there or not, you just say it and walk away. No. When you are not accountable in your words, you end up breeding children who are chaotic in words, children who don't have control, children who are beasts in terms of the way they converse with others. The last point I will say here is this: when you are not accountable in terms of where you go to, you are simply teaching your children to walk away from home at any time. Oh, have you had a situation where the wife will call the husband, yeah, where are you? They say, what is it? Am I your slave? Why are you disturbing me? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Why are you disturbing me? Why are you harassing my life? He grew up in an atmosphere where the father walks out without telling the mother, look at where I'm going to. And then under such an atmosphere, what do you expect? The children pick it up because children learn easily by examples, by the things they see. So it's very important that such an atmosphere should be avoided. Thank you very much, Happiness. Your next question, please. Please, can you talk louder, please? How can love do what? I'm not hearing you clearly. Okay, love and functionality with accountability. Okay, how can love and accountability be rekindled? Okay, no problem. How can love and accountability be rekindled? Number one, I have about 5 points. That number one is acknowledging your mistakes. Let me cite something there. I used to be somebody who was given to very bad anger. And I will advise all the singles hearing me, including the married ones. If you are given to anger, please work on it. It's a disastrous thing. That was my problem. I was given to anger. So anytime I comes into the house and the house is not the way I wanted it to be, I'll just snap at it. I'll be very angry. I will just talk to my wife, talk to people. I will shout and then go to the room and then undress and come out. To them, the line of the tribe of the house has arrived. That was my behavior for some time. So that was the day I got home like that. My normal snapping and anger. As soon as I got to the room, the Holy Spirit said, the way you are doing, your wife won't live long. The way you are doing, she won't live long. You better be careful. I quickly acknowledged that I was wrong. That's accountability. Acknowledging you're wrong is accountability. I quickly I played, I laughed, went into the room, dressed. She was like, oh, did this man see Angel Gabriel? She was like, what happened? No, I took responsibility for my action. So if you want to rekindle the love, you want to rekindle accountability, you must take responsibility for your action. Acknowledge that whatever you have done is wrong. When you acknowledge that whatever you have done is wrong, that's the first step for healing. That's the first step to rekindle your love, to rekindle your affairs. That's the first step to understand that you need to readjust your life. And then number two way to rekindle is to acknowledge each other. Acknowledge in the sense that you are not dealing with a stone. You are dealing with a human being. And because the person is a human being, there's no perfectness. No one is perfect. And then when you recognize that you are dealing with somebody who is not perfect, as you are not perfect, it will help you to break that stronghold that you feel, okay, my spouse should be perfect. There are people who just believe that their spouse should be perfect when they are not perfect. And so when you understand that you both are perfect, and then that will still help you to acknowledge it so that, and by so acknowledge you don't decide to shift to break some certain behaviors that you are doing. And then number three is communication. Communication. Do you know that communication is the foundation for a healthy home? Communication is the strength to rekindle any broken loves. Communication. Because inside communication is understanding. Inside communication is understanding. The way you communicate matters a lot. If you communicate and then your spouse doesn't get it, you have not communicated. So both of you can sit down. Okay, how are we getting this thing? What are we doing that are wrong? How do we overcome this thing? You communicate with each other. You are not the reason why you got married and the reason why God created this home was that Adam could not communicate with lion. Bible said there was no companion found for Adam. That means there was a trial. Adam could not communicate with elephants. Adam could not communicate with a goat. So God brought a human being like Adam to communicate with Adam. So that's why you need to understand that communication is a foundation. Communication is a foundation. The first unity, apart from the marriage unity, is in Genesis chapter 3. God scattered them because of communication. They could no longer hear each other. They said, let us go and make this. Let us go and make. God scattered their language. Any home that doesn't have the same language in terms of communication will not last long. There must be understanding, mutual understanding, communication. Sit each other down and ask each other, what do you want? Do you know something? I came from a dysfunctional home, polygamous marriage. Then I looked at the way my father ran his home. I look at the way my mother and the wives were together. And I said to myself, I'm going to have a home that will function, that will work. It was already a determination. And then when we got married, I spelled it out to my wife that no matter what, a third party must not be involved. We are matured enough to handle each other's differences. We are matured enough to handle each other's issue. In Nigerian constitution, once you are 18 years old, you are accountable. So we married above 18. So that's so we should be accountable and matured to talk to each. I can tell you for 27 years, we have not called any third party to come and settle us. We have had issues, we have had grievances, we have had everything, but we have solved it through communication. You can call each other and say, okay, dear, what is it? How do I where do I make mistakes here? And let me speak to the men. The men, we believe that we are macho men. We believe that we are men of strength. We believe that we are men that has capacity. We believe that we can never be wrong. That's not the truth. There's nothing wrong with a man telling the wife, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Because the woman you are married to, she's not a piece of furniture. She's not a trash. You married her because out of all the packs of women that you had around you, she was the best one you could get married to. So why don't you treat her like a human being? Treat her with grace and compassion. So that's why communication is very, very effectual when it comes to rekindling the love. And then number 4 is decision. After every communication, decisions are very important. The failure to make decision is a failure. Let me put it this way. The failure to make decision is a product of lack of understanding of your communication. Every communication results in decision making. You have communicated. Both of you should make a decision. Okay, the husband, in this line, I have made my mistake. The wife, in this area, I've made my mistake. Why don't we just let it go? Why don't we just make a decision? The husband makes his decision, the wife makes her decision. And then you make your decision, and then based on your decisions, you are able to heal each other's wounds. And then number 5, the last point is patience. The home that has been battered, the home that has been broken, the home that has suffered lack of accountability, love has fizzled out. The home that has suffered pains, it will take patience to be healed. It will not be healed overnight. It will take a lot of patience to be. That's why you need to understand that patience is valuable. Be patient with each other while you get healed. In the process of getting healed, you must understand that there may be 1 or 2 inches, 1 or 2 disagreement here and there. It doesn't mean that the decisions has been abused. It's just that it's an expression of your human nature. So you must be patient with each other to ensure that your decisions are carried headlong. Thank you very much. Your next question, please.
Thank you so thank you so much, sir. And sir, I I saw you that passionately. For the past 27 years, how have you been able to maintain this spark between both of you in your marriage?
Thank you very much. They say it must keep the tonic of love fresh. 27 years.
Mm.
When I got married, there's this standing law in my home. There's no responsibility of the husband or the wife in terms of bringing up children, in terms of, when I say responsibility, I mean, there are various rules. Say, okay, this is the rule of the man, and this is the rule of the wife. We have our rules put together. When we have the money, if the wife has the money, she brings it. If the husband has the money, he brings it. And then we flow together, and then we work together. And then we have this law that no matter we may have, the other side of the room must not be denied. You understand what I'm talking about now? No matter the
Yes,
disagreement,
sir.
the other side of the room must not be denied. If there's a need for it that night, it must be delivered on a platter of gold. And then we have this flow together. We pray, we love each other. Yeah, we may not be a perfect couple. And they're like, okay, like today now, before I came for this broadcast, she was complaining, my waist and my this, treat me like a baby now. And I said to her, Mother, you are 53. Treat you like a baby, no problem. I'll treat you like a baby. And I told her, and I said, yeah, there are some certain things about yourself that you need to stand up. You have to stand up. She said, I want to eat bread. So I called my daughter, okay, when you are coming, buy her bread. So when they brought the whole loaves of bread, I told her, dear, this bread is 2005. It's a whole loaf of bread. I beg, please don't finish it. I will see it from inside. You know, when you have a home where you allow love and play to happen, and not that everybody in the home are like Saddam. Everybody is sad. Nobody, there's no fun, there's no tonic. There was a day we walked out together. Somebody looked at us and said, I was asking my wife, is that your brother? And my wife said, yes, he's my brother, the father of my children. That was how we busted into laughter. So there must be this atmosphere. What determines age in home, what determines freshness in home is the atmosphere. If there's a difference between the house is where you live. The atmosphere, the home is the atmosphere of the house. If the atmosphere of the house is good, just like what they said it takes, I don't know, scientifically, they said it takes 72 muscles to smile. And they said it takes over 140 muscles to frown. So the more you frown, the more aged you become. So why will you have a home where you don't laugh, you don't play, all you need to do is to frown? Everything about you is serious. Do you know that we watch films together? We analyze television programs together. And we laugh together. We play together. We live together. Yes, I remember when we got married, my wife came from Delta, where they eat meat as if they have not seen meat before. And then I am from Edo State, where we have value and respect for meat. So when we put our food together, before I could say Jack, and then to say Robinson, my wife has finished all the meat. I'm like, dear, what's the problem? And I saw that they chop it from the house. She said, just stay there, they look like television. She did that to me once, did it to me twice, did it to me. At the third time, as soon as she served the food, before she washed her hand, I finished the meat. He said, no. I said, when you teach me something, I should be greater and better than you in that aspect now. And then we laughed over it. Do you know something? If you grow in love in your marriage, as you grow, the things that make you to fight or to quarrel when you started this home, if those things occur later, you just laugh over it because you are both matured enough. You have outgrown some of these things. And so like I told her today, I said, look at you. I said, for me, when I'm 90, and I will not wear pampers. I'll still be very strong. I'll carry my children. I say, madam, you better stand up. So I just jokingly said that to her. Then I went to the bedroom to take my bath. While I was taking my bath, I was hearing her praying for her children and mention the first name and all their names. I said, madam, what happened? You don't strong again. So we just make fun. There was and again we create time for each other. You need to take drip. So I left the church. I left everything. That day there was no counseling. I was not ready to cancel anybody. But my first home, my first ministry is my home. I don't know about pastors who neglect their marriage just because they want to cancel. My first ministry is my home. So I went, pick her from the house, went to the hospital, the first drip on her. I was there until the drip finished. I was there, she was discharged, and I took her home before I returned back to the office. And so, like I used to tell people, I don't have a perfect home, but I have this inbuilt thought in me to have a home that works so that my children can also have the home. I remember some time ago, one of my sons wanted to hit the junior sister, and I screamed. I said, have you ever seen me hit your mommy before? Don't do that. Don't do that. You didn't learn it from your father, so you can't do that. By the time you hit your junior sister like that now, before you know it, when you get married, you think the easiest way to deal with a woman is to hit her. So you must create time. You must stay together. You must watch television together. When she has, there are sometimes, sorry to say, there are sometimes women have some silly questions. Some very silly questions. I reacted one way or two before I learned my lesson. That no matter how silly the question is, you must provide an answer. And then when she's talking too much, there was a day I came back from the office. I was very hungry. As soon as I stepped into the house, she started to, this person did this, and that person said this to me. She kept me standing for almost 10-15 minutes. I needed to listen to her because she has seen me as her last resort for her comfort. So if I snapped at her, said, my friend, leave me alone, I'm hungry, I'll get my food. I will have broken her emotionally. And when the woman is broken emotionally, she aged on time. When you break a woman's emotional capacity, the woman aged on time. So based on that, I listened to her. After I listened to her, I spoke to her. Her mind came down, and I went to the room, undressed, and came to eat my food. That was hard. So looking young, staying together, relationship together, loving each other together. When you have disagreement, don't be like that man that said he's Mr. Malice. You know the man I'm talking about now. He says Mr. Malice, and because he's Mr. Malice, his home is broken. And don't be that kind of person. If you have disagreement, solve it immediately and ensure you guide each other's emotion. When emotion is intact in marriage, it brings freshness. It brings youthfulness. There was a time I was chatting with a family friend, a lady. She's very close to my family, close to my wife. She comes to my home. I was chatting her. I was like, she greeted me and I said, how are you? How are you doing? She said, I'm fine. And I said, where are you at this time? He said, I'm in the city, I'm in the bedroom. I said, are you not with your husband? He said, no, my husband is there in the sitting room. He's just busy. So I said, go and join him. And I said, no, my husband is a joy killer. She said, she now said, if I go to him, sorry, and I sit with him, only one or two statements from his mouth will me all through that night. So I decided in that period, the lady has aged. And when there's no communication like that, the other side of the room cannot be functional. One of the things that makes you young is when the other room is functional. But what both of you exchange when you are functioning is also medically keeps you young and keeps you strong. The man avoid prostrate and the woman's flesh is also young. So, and when mentally you are broken, you can't be young, you can't be fresh. So keep your mental health healthy. No matter the differences, try to come together. Thank you. You said what? Is well. Thank you, happiness. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't get you. What? What advice do you have for those looking to build a godly home? Okay, thank you very much. The advice for those that want to build a godly home. Number one, you can't build a godly home if you are not godly. You get that? You can't build a godly home if you are not godly. You must first of all be godly to be able to build a godly home. If you are not godly, you can't have a standard, a godly. You can't give what you don't have. So you must first of all be godly to build a godly home. And then number two, okay, let me just explain that word godly. That means you need to be born again, have Christ in you. The owner of a product understands the product better. God instituted marriage. You can't tell him what to do. You can't use your tradition to interpret it. You must first of all come to him, be with him, understand him, stay with this God. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people who are not born again, who keeps healthy marriage, who have very portable good marriages, and then they're living very well. That's fine. That's beautiful. But I'm recommending this that as a child of God, you must be born again. You must have salvation. And then number two is to operate by principles. The principle guiding every home. Husband, love your wife. And wife, be submissive to your own husband. Do you know something? It's very easy to be submissive where love is there. Submissiveness is a product of love. If love is absent, submissiveness will be difficult. It's like let me use the word. It's, it's no longer submissiveness, it's like subjection. Submissiveness and subjection is not the same thing. When love is not there, your wife becomes your subject. It becomes somebody that at any given time you can control. She becomes your subject. So that's why it's very wrong to live that way. So you must love your wife, and your wife must be submissive to you. By so doing, you build a godly home. And then number 3, both of you must have the same objective, the same interest. It is divided interest that scatters the home. It's interest in the sense that we are married. This is what we want. We want a godly home. We want a standard home. And you both are working it out together. Do you know something? When you are working things together, it's very easy for you to, for you to grow. Because you are working it together, you can pay the price. There's no good home that does not come with a big price. There are times as a husband, you are deaf to whatever your wife has said. There are times as a husband, it's not everything you listen to. It's not every action you react to. You must have the capacity, to look away from some certain things, because you have made a decision that your home must be perfect. And the same thing goes with the wife too. It's not everything you act upon. It's not every step you need to take. You must watch it. Before you take any step, ask yourself, what are the benefits and disadvantages to my home? If it will sink your home, avoid it. If it will destroy your home, avoid it. So that's why I said there must be a mutual interest. Before that's the reason for courtship. They have destroyed the purpose of courtship. The purpose of courtship is for you to discuss with each other. What do we want? In courtship these days, people want to test what they should not test. What do you want? How do you want it? What are the things that you want? So you must decide those things, and both of you must be ready for it. And again, during your period of courtship, that's the time you begin to pray. And then get it. The person I could have gotten married to, maybe by now, I could have been ministry or in marriage. At the 11th hour, we needed to part. But I prayed the prayer, I said, Lord, any lady I will marry that will not lead to a successful home, Lord, don't bring her around me. So this lady came, we were together, we discussed. That worked for me. Months of our marriage, we separated before I met my wife. And so along the line, both of you must come together. What do you want? Okay. And again, you must read books. Read books. That should be number 4. Read books on marriages. You don't get during their marriage. The young man said, their wedding, sorry. The young man said, all of the things I love most was during our counseling period. You counsel them. Where there is no counsel, the people fall. That's what the Bible said. It takes counsel to establish a good home. And again, it is in the midst of your counsel that you expose each other. You look at, you are transparent. I remember when I was getting married, I have a counselor attached to me. My wife had a counselor attached to her. And then the counselor told us, what are the things that you think your spouse will know in the future that will cause a problem at home? Tell me. I told them my own. She told the counselor her own. And then they called us together and related it and told us, look at, how do you guys cope with this? And we said, nope, we don't have a problem with that. We're going to get married. And so along the line, we got married. So let there be no hidden agenda. You can't have a hidden agenda, have a successful home. It's not possible. There shouldn't be any hidden agenda if you want to have a godly home. Not that 3 years later, 4 years later, the man is discovering something, the lady discovering something, that home will fall. And then the last number whatsoever, I think I've run out of counting, either number 5 or so. The last of it all is that put God at the center. Put God at the center in the sense that both of you should grow together. That was the advice my sister gave to me. We are in the public, and and I'm not ashamed to tell you, I got married at 25. And right there, my wife was already 26. She was 26, I was 25. We got married. The youth of our age at those times were still having fun, enjoying their lives when we got married. And then I can't forget the advice my sister gave me. My sister said, both of you will grow together. And believe me, we have been growing together. We don't know, we are not the best, but we are growing together. So we want to have a good home. Just agree to grow together. Agree to grow together. Be transparent. Be open. Know what you are into and know what you want to do. Grow together, and then you will live together. Thank you. Hello, happiness. Are you there? You say what? Okay, thank you very much. Before we round up, I'll just acknowledge, admonish those who are young, who are getting married, that they should not fail to understand that the purpose for marriage is more than procreation. The purpose of marriage is for unity, and they were one, and they were one. It's for unity, it's for procreation, it's for pleasure, and it's to raise godly children. Let's get into this thing with understanding before you get married. And even though you're already in it, I will acknowledge you. Please go get materials that will help you grow in marriage. Without that, you may not be very successful in it. Grow in it. Grow in it. It's an institution, but you need to grow in it. Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure being here. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Bye. Okay, yeah, bye.